and welcome to 2-Minute Topics. Today's topic is the final episode of our 3-part series on processes, and we'll focus on the SIPOC diagram as a means to define process components. Now, we've already looked at what processes are, and we've already looked at what the different components of a process are, so let's tie that all together with your 2 minutes starting now. With as complex and interconnected as many business processes have become, understanding the relationships between internal and external processes and their components can seem like a challenging task. But one simple tool that can be used to understand a process or how it's linked to other processes is the SIPOC diagram. Now, this is often used within lean methodology and Six Sigma projects, but it can be utilized anytime a process needs a deeper understanding. SIPOC stands for suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, and customer. Let's briefly break this down. As we've discussed before, inputs are anything that enters or is required to enter a process to produce the output. Outputs are the products or services that a customer utilizes resulting from the process. The customers are the users of the output. Suppliers are the entities supplying inputs into the process. And obviously, the process is what takes the inputs and transforms them into outputs. One of the benefits of utilizing a SIPOC diagram is that it's a simple to create and scalable tool that can be used for an individual process or even scaled up to diagram a full business. So how do you create a SIPOC? Well, step 1, create your swim lanes. So swim lanes provide cross-functional resource and activity insight for the process that's being analyzed. The diagram will have 5 lanes with 1 lane for each category. Step 2, process boundaries and naming. It's important to identify the scope of the process being analyzed and naming it accordingly. In other words, identifying where the process starts and ends and having limitations on what's being mapped. Step 3, complete the swim lanes. This is to be performed at a high level and should be input in the following order: process, outputs, customer, inputs, suppliers. Then it's asking those 5 W's and how to get the information to build out the overall process. And step 4, validate. It's always beneficial to validate the high-level process to ensure no major components were missed or are incorrect. Well, would you look at that? I just gave you a process on how to understand processes. See, organizations really are just one giant complex process or system. But I'm going to leave you with this. Is supply chain a process under the overall organizational system, or is it the overall system that's driving organizational processes? You tell me.